Ciao, I'm Mary Ann Esposito. Today on Ciao Italia, Sunday sauce. Ciao, I'm Mary Ann Esposito. Welcome to Italy, and let's cook real Italian. Aren't they gorgeous? Swiss chard. I knew you said that. I'm in heaven. Think about how healthy this is. That's for you. Sunday sauce. All 20 regions of Italy are fabulous. And every time I do this, I think of my Nonna Galasso because she always made it this way. You want a Goldilocks dough, just right. Who doesn't like basil, especially in the summer? Obviously, you have to have pesto sauce at some point, right? I mean, I'm a cook. Why can't I try it? You're the best.
No, you're the best.
It's Sunday, and you know what that means? Time to make Sunday sauce. If you're Italian, you probably understand what that means. A nice red sauce for pasta on Sunday. But if you're not Italian, we're going to tell you all about Sunday sauce anyway. So how do you make it? Well, the first thing you have to do is plant the tomatoes. Right, and here we are. So I have mine down here. And you see I've got black plastic down, and that's going to hold the weeds down while I plant and while these tomatoes grow. You want to dig some deep holes because tomatoes have to be planted fairly deep. So you take out some of that dirt. I've already dug these holes, so they're nice and deep. Look at how deep my hand goes. And then you have your plants ready. So here are our little seedlings, and you want to be careful when you take them out. What I do is I open the base, where the roots are, just to let that spread out a little bit. And then I take off these leaves, the lower leaves. Take them off because that's going to make a more vigorous plant. It's going to drive all of the energy into the stem. So this is gonna, we're not gonna get tomatoes until August. Like I said, it's a long simmering sauce. So anyway, there's our first one. And then we just move on and plant them with enough distance to allow them, of course, to grow. Well, it's high July in the Ciao Italia garden. And here we have something called a brandywine, which is an heirloom tomato. Obviously, it's not ready yet, but it's a late variety tomato. So late into summer, these tomatoes will be coming and they're perfect. They have a really velvety texture. They're thick. They eat them like a steak. But look at the size of the leaves. Aren't they pretty? So that's brandywine. So we'll wait for that for late summer. Then, over here, we have beefsteak type tomatoes. These are the tomatoes that you use for salads, for stuffing in your sandwiches. I love them just with a little bit of olive oil, red wine vinegar, and a little oregano and salt on top. Delicious. And then over here, we have that classic plum tomato. You see it taking shape, the elongated tomato. This is the tomato that Italians use for making sauces because it's very pulpy. It doesn't have a lot of seeds. It's meaty. It has a nice texture. It's not too acidic. So it's the perfect tomato for making tomato sauce for our Sunday sauce. That's coming. We're going to get that Sunday sauce going. And then over here, we have cherry tomatoes. You see them down here. Again, we're just waiting in anticipation Part of having a garden is patience, and so those are going to turn probably in a couple weeks or so. Cherry tomatoes are great, just, use them in a salad or saute them. I like to take them, put them in a big plastic bag and throw them in the freezer, and then in the winter I make a really delicious tomato soup. So we have yellow and red cherry tomatoes. So we have a great variety of tomatoes. This is a cook's dream. Now we need to really wait until they turn red, and then we'll make Sunday sauce. It's the dog days of August. Hot, humid, perfect for tomatoes. And guess what? You know those tomatoes that we planted way back when in May? They're ready. And we're particularly looking for those plum tomatoes. Juicy, pulpy, low acid, delicious for making something Italians love, Sunday sauce. So let's go get them. This is the day that every gardener waits for. No matter what you've planted in your garden, it's the tomato that everyone loves. And I love plum tomatoes. Look at them. And they're ready for the plucking. They're beautiful. They're meaty. They're heavy. And we know what we're going to do with these, don't we? I'm going to take as many as I can because we have to make that Sunday sauce. And it just would be an ordinary Sunday without these. It really was worth all the effort planting those plum tomatoes that we've waited so long for. And so now here they are, fresh from the garden. So we can make something called passata, which a lot of Italians know about. I'll explain, but first, let me tell you where this comes from. Right here, Campania, the region of Campania, the land of the tomato. The tomato made this region famous, but the tomato came from the Americas. And the Italians were very, 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 very leery of the tomato until somebody tasted one and survived because they thought they were poisonous. So plum tomatoes have defined Campanian cooking. Think of pizza. What would it be without tomatoes? Think of pasta dishes without tomatoes. So today we're going to make something called, as I've been promising you, Sunday sauce. And we have to start with plum tomatoes. So once you have them, either out of your garden, or you've gone to the farmer's market, or you're just getting them out of the grocery store, I cut them in half. Then you have to get the skins soft on these. So there's two ways to do this. Fill a pot of water, bring it to a boil, throw in all the tomatoes, and let them kind of cook until the skins begin to shrivel. That's going to take you about 5-10 minutes. Then you drain them. When it's cool enough to handle, you peel off all those skins. Big, big process. Here's an easier way. Cut the tomatoes in half, I put them in a bowl, and then I stick them in the microwave for about 4 minutes. Depends on what power your microwave is on. Those skins will shrink very easily, and you've eliminated that whole boiling step. So here they are. They are shriveled, shrunken up, and now we're going to pass them. That's where the name comes from. Passata means to pass. And I have my little passata machine here, you see? So what you do is you take the tomatoes, a little bit at a time that are softened, and you put them right into the machine. And then you pass them. So you get the juice, but not the seeds or the skin. And this is going to become the base for your Sunday sauce. So let me show you that again. Put the tomatoes in, and you turn. Now, if you didn't have something like this, you could use a Foley food mill to do this, but I think that this is a much faster and easier way to do it. And I've got just a few more in there, but I think you get the idea. To make Sunday sauce means you're feeding a crowd. You're going to need about, 10 cups of the passata. And wear red when you're doing this, because it does splatter. Okay, So you see, there's the seeds and the skin. Now I have just the juice. And there it is. And so you do a whole bunch like this, and then you're left with something like this. See, you're left with this. Pureed tomato juice. Now, what are we going to do with this? Well, this is going to become the foundation for our Sunday sauce. Step 1. Step 2 is next. So why exactly is this sauce called Sunday sauce? Well, I'm going to tell you. Probably a lot of you already know. This is a sauce that you made either on Saturday, some did, or you made on Sunday before you went to church, because the sauce required you to use cuts of meat that took a long time to cook, like braciole. Some people use short ribs. Some people that use spare ribs. Some people use a piece of chuck roast. Then you add Italian sausage. You add meatballs. So you have all these different meats in your Sunday sauce. So when you put it all together, you let it cook on a low simmer while you were in church. When you came home on Sunday, the Sunday sauce was ready, and if you lived in an Italian family, of course, you would understand this, then all your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, everybody would come for Sunday dinner. You know, there are many, many variations on this. Some people put hard-boiled eggs in, some people put olives in. I am putting in herbs and cheese. So there is our garlic and parsley mixture. And now what we have to do is deal with the braciole. So, oh wait, first I have to do something else. Yes, I got so carried away there. This is prosciutto di Parma. I'm adding this to the braciole. Now you know this is that air and salt cured ham from Parma. That's where it gets its name, prosciutto di Parma. So this ham, made from the hind leg of a certain breed of pig that has to come from a certain area around Parma in the region of Emilia-Romagna. So salt, air, and thyme, T-I-M-E, is what goes into this. So we're going to put this back on the plate. We have our prosciutto, and that's going to give added flavor. And now we can move this out of the way and deal with the meat. So here we have top round steak. You want to make sure that you're getting top round so that it's thinly sliced. So then I usually take either a piece of wax paper or plastic wrap like this, and you just want to pound it down a little bit with your meat pounder. This is a weighted meat pounder, just to get it all the same thickness. Now your butcher can do that for you, so you don't even have to do that. Okay, so that's looking good. Now what we can do, first I have to wash my hands, is add some salt and pepper to that to season it a little bit. So here we have some fresh ground pepper. This was always my favorite part of Sunday sauce. I always went for the braciole. I mean, I love the meatballs too, and the spare ribs, and the Italian sausage, but the braciole was what I went for. So I got to the pot before anybody else did. So here is some salt. And now we're going to add the parsley mixture over the top. Okay. As I say, you could add hard-boiled eggs, you could add olives to this, whatever you'd like. And once we have that, we can take some of this prosciutto di Parma and place it over the meat, like so. And then we want to give this some cheese. And the cheese that we're using today is Pecorino Romano cheese. Pecorino Romano is a sheep's milk cheese. That's where the name comes from. Pecoro, which means sheep. pecorino. So sheep's milk cheese, it's a harder cheese, it's a little saltier cheese, a little fattier cheese. This is the cheese that a lot of Italian Americans grew up with. All right, so we now have our 2 braciole, and we need some kitchen string. So you start at one end, make sure everything is compact, and you roll this up, roll it up. And every time I do this, I really think of my Nonna Galasso, who made this every weekend. So you roll them up, and let me pat that one down a little bit. And this, of course, is going to be our second course. We're not going to serve this with the pasta, because we're also going to have pasta. This becomes your second course. So then you want to tie these little bundles with some kitchen string tightly, because you have to brown these now in a little bit of olive oil. So you don't want all that filling to fall out either. So get them tightly tied. There's one bundle, and here's the second one. It smells just like Nona's kitchen right now. Yep, brings back lots and lots of memories. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to add some Italian sausage, by the way, and later on, maybe some meatballs. So there are our braciole. Now, we need to brown those. Okay, what we're going to do now is get some onions soft in a little bit of olive oil. So you want a little extra virgin olive oil in a pan. You can find this recipe on the Ciao Italia website, depending on how many people you want to make this for. So an onion goes in, and while that's getting soft, let me talk to you about what else goes with this. So here's how I get a deeper flavor in the Sunday sauce that I'm making. Tomato paste, this is one of your best friends. Also, a little anchovy, but if you have somebody who's allergic to fish, then you can't put it in. But anchovy is our secret ingredient. I'm not putting it in today because we do have people who are allergic to fish. So this is a conserva. It's a concentrated tomato paste. So it's used to thicken soups and sauces. And I'm going to add some with the onion. So once the onion is a little bit soft, then I squeeze in, this is the fun part, a good tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste. And the best tomato paste comes from Sicily, as far as I'm concerned, because I've seen how it's made. All right, so you mix that around with all of the onions, because that's going to add great flavor. And once all of this is coated and the onions are soft, we're going to take this out onto a dish, and then we're going to brown our meats. The onions are now well coated, so we can take them out. You can add garlic to this if you want, minced garlic, when you're doing the onions and the tomato paste. We also have garlic in the braciole, so depending on how much garlic you like, you can either add it with the onions or you can rely on the garlic that's already in your braciole. So once we take this out, now we can brown the meat. So in goes the braciole. Add the Italian sausage that you made yourself, of course. If you want that recipe, you can go on the Ciao Italia website or just get it from your butcher. You can get the fennel flavored ones. You can get hot red pepper flavored ones. All right, so that's going to take, a good 10 minutes to brown before we can add the passata. We can add back the onions carefully. In they go. Spread them around a little bit. This is going to be a really hearty sauce. So now we have the passata. Now remember what I always tell you. Always pour sauce over a spoon. That way it doesn't splatter you, but you can see how thick the passata is. And you need enough to cover the meat, so probably half of this one too. Oops, there we go. That one's a little thinner, huh? Must have been the tomatoes. But anyway, we've got enough in there. This is about 8 cups, I would say. All right, then with that, we need some fresh basil. So 2 nice sprigs of basil. We need some salt. And you may want to correct this later on. We need a little sugar for the acid in the tomatoes. Although a lot of people leave it out, my grandmother always put it in, so I'm putting it in honor of her. In goes the sugar, a grinding of pepper, and if you happen to have any red wine left over, you can add that too. Gives added flavor. So now while this is cooking, and it's going to take several hours, we're going to make the meatballs. So what are we going to use for our meatball mixture? Well, here you go. There are so many variants on this. Some people only use beef. Some people use beef and pork. Some people use beef, pork, and veal. Today we're using beef and pork, ½ pound of each. So let's give it some pepper. And there is a science to making a good meatball that isn't dry. I love my mother's meatballs because they've got such a great velvety texture. Here's some salt. We want an egg. Let me add that. And I like to bake the meatballs. A lot of people like to fry them. Some people put them in the sauce raw. I mean, there are just so many variations. Onion, garlic, how much you like, a piacere, whatever you think. Flat leaf Italian parsley is a must in meatballs. Again, pecorino romano cheese. And then we want the breadcrumbs. This is the secret, folks. First of all, you got to start with breadcrumbs that you made yourself. Nothing from a box is going to equal what you have done, just with stale bread. And now, clean hands. You get in there and you make your meatball mixture. Did I say that I like to bake these? So if you're baking them, I usually put them on a non-stick baking sheet. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a clump and round them. Sundae sauce starts with passata. And remember, we made that from plum tomatoes that we squeezed through a machine. It eliminated the seeds and the skin, left us the pulp, and we cooked it with the meat. And we used 3 kinds of meat today in Sundae sauce: braciole, Italian sausage, and meatballs. And remember, Sundae sauce cooks while you are at church, and that's why it's called Sundae sauce. And until I see you nella cucina again, I'm Mary Ann Esposito. Ciao!